Hey everybody.
Hello.
Hey, good to see everybody. Good to see everybody online tonight. I'm Kent Boxberger. This is Guided Meditations with Kent Boxberger. Tonight's topic is manifesting your desires. So what kind of desires do you have? You got a bunch, right? You got a whole bunch. So for everyone that's online, we have a live audience here. We have a online audience here in Atlanta. I don't know where the weather is going on with where you're at, but here we had some storms just moved in. We got a little rain, but we're doing well. We're surviving. I'm hoping that I got my fingers crossed. I'm hoping that the electricity stays on and everything's good. We had some wild lightning bolts last night and this afternoon a little bit over by my house. So anyway, we're gonna have some fun tonight. We're gonna do a really powerful meditation. This meditation is designed to help you manifest your desires, to move that energy in, to move those things into physical manifestation. The guided meditations are designed to create three things. There's three things that I try to accomplish with guided meditations. The first thing is we want to improve our health. So when we really truly do a proper meditation, 15 or 20 minutes or longer, we have the opportunity to let the cells in our body relax, to be in a more non-resistant state, to be able to meld more with one another, communicate more with one another, and all those trillions of cells in our body have an opportunity to heal and balance those parts of our body that we may not even know need healing and balancing, but they know, because each cell has its own intelligence, has its own brain power, it knows what it's doing. And when we get out of the way with our consciousness, our body has an opportunity to do its magic. So the guided meditation is designed to do that first. The second thing is, when you do it properly, is we're able to receive messages from Spirit. And these are messages that, in a sense, because we're in a non-resistant state, we're able to get downloads, information from our higher self primarily, and then from that, there are branches of higher consciousness that are attached, you might say, attached is probably not a good word, connected to our higher self. That involves things like angels or ascended masters, or people that have died and are on the other side of the veil. Or there's all kinds of forms, extraterrestrial forms, alien forms. There's all kinds of higher forms of consciousness. And a lot of people don't believe in that kind of thing. Some of those things you may believe, some you don't. But those higher forms of consciousness can be used to our advantage if we're open to that, and if our belief system holds those things. We can use that information. We also open ourselves up to a higher form of God, you might say, or source energy, a higher calling, a higher being, your higher sense of understanding, all the above. And really, it doesn't matter what we label them, because we have a lot of labels. The bottom line is we have an opportunity to receive that information when we're in a relaxed, non-resistant state, way more strongly than when we're not. I will add this, though: the guided meditation is not strictly designed to go get that information, because really when you try too hard to go get information, it forms resistance. There's resistance there because we're out for something. So our goal is not to really push forward and really try to get the information. I need an answer to this and I need an answer to that. In fact, the contrary happens when we do that. The goal, the ultimate, is to relax in such a relaxed state with no resistance that we let in whatever is going to come in. And we let our higher self dictate what that's going to be, and we let our spirit let that in through our soul. The third thing that we allow when we do guided meditations properly is we allow the power of the law of attraction, the most powerful law in the universe, to act in our behalf at the most powerful peak performance, you might say, in letting the physical manifestations come into our awareness more quickly and more fully. And the way that works is it's a very long, complicated equation, but to make it simple is when we let go of our version of the way we think things should be, we let go of control completely, then the universe, through our soul, can allow those things to come to us, to show up, to sometimes magically appear right before our eyes. And they weren't there a moment ago. Sometimes. We don't really want to believe in that much. But that's the way it works. That's why sometimes you run into people out of nowhere they haven't seen in years maybe, and there they are in the most inconspicuous places sometimes, maybe across the planet or somewhere, and then boom, right there you are. Synchronicity happens. That's the law of attraction. That's manifestation through our soul and through what we call magic. And it's really not magic at all. It's just the way things work. But when we let go and we would get into a meditative state as much as we can, as many times a day as we can, even if it's for a few seconds, a few minutes, we let go of trying to control our circumstances. We allow spirit, we allow our soul, we allow source, we allow the law of attraction to work in our behalf. And that's when we start to see the things that we desire show up instead of the things that we don't desire. Now, I'm going to throw a caveat in here that's a little bit of a misconception out here in the world in this whole idea of manifestation and the law of attraction and getting what you want and living different realities. I'm going to throw a little caveat in here. And that is, many times the things that we have show up in our life don't appear to be what we're looking for. For instance, you get an illness, or something happens to your car, or you get a speeding ticket, or you lose your job, or you break up with your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your lover, or you and a friend just butt heads and you split up and you don't talk to one another. All kinds of things that happen throughout our days. Or we watch TV and we see the governments and they're fighting. They're at odds, getting intense, more and more intense. We see the discord. Okay. And those kinds of things, for a moment, you have to think about it, because the universe does not judge. God or source energy does not judge. In other words, it doesn't take sides with anybody over any subject whatsoever. Now, we think it does, and we want to believe it does. We've been taught it does. You can go to any church around the world, and they will tell you, this is good, and this is bad. This is the way you should do things, and this is the way you shouldn't do things. And while there may be a measure of truth to that, friends, the real truth is that the universe gives us free will to choose whatever we want, and everything exists for a reason, a good reason. Everything, even the most evil act or person or thing in the universe, has its place. And most people don't want to hear that. Most people don't want to believe that. But the fact is you and I are going to be here in our lifetime, and we're going to die in this lifetime, and we're going to come back. And those evil things are still going to be out there. They're going to be recycling, because we live in a universe, especially a planet right here, that is a dualistic planet. It was designed by source energy, by God, you might say, to have a positive and a negative charge. And it all goes together to make what we call existence. And so what our job is to pick and choose where we want to be. Where do we want to be? What do we want to be thinking about? What do we want to be talking about? What kind of people do we want to be around? What kind of environments do we want to hang out in? You know, what do we want to be promoting? What do we want to be letting ourselves get caught up in? Because the more resistant things people, places, circumstances that we get into, the more we suffer, the more we feel bad, the sicker we get, okay? The more resistance that we have in our environment with us, by the people we talk to and interact with, by what we watch on television or the internet, by what we talk about, what comes out of our mouth, the more of those lower vibrational things, the lower negative things, those things, the more that we have, the more resistance we introduce, which means we're not experiencing less resistance, which means the things that we want in life, the things that we desire, those things that we really, really desire, are really not having an easy time finding their way into our reality. See? So, as I've said many times, if you want more money, and I know everybody I know wants more money, even President Donald Trump wants more money, okay, a billionaire, because you can't get enough money, guys. It's like air. Okay, you can't get enough air, because the more money you have, the more things you can do with it. I don't care how much you got. It's not about greed. It's about what you're going to do with that money. It's like the air. What are you going to do with the air? I'm going to breathe it, and I would share it with every person who didn't have enough air, because there's plenty to go around. Same thing with money. If you want more money in your life, if you want better health, and everybody wants better health, we don't want to be sick. And all of us have a constant battle, day to day, staying healthy in this physical body. It's the way things were designed. But we were created to have optimum health most of the time if we just believe it. Even though we look at a world that's mostly sick. Mostly sick. Care what country you go to. So, if you want better health, and we do, if you want better relationships in your life, whether it's your love relationships with people, or it's your family or your friends that are around you, the community you're in, all those relationships, the people you work with, all those things. If you want better relationships, more satisfying, more joyful, more healthy relationships, more loving, more caring, more trusting relationships, when we let go and we have less resistance, the universe will bring those people into our existence, and it will push out away from us those that don't belong. The law of attraction guarantees it. So when you have somebody come into your existence that you don't like, and they don't like you, and you butt heads for whatever reason, just remember, you attracted them and they attracted you for a reason. And the reason is so you could look at something in you may not know you got going on inside. You may have some limiting beliefs about something. You may have some beliefs that are judgmental about people or groups of people or systems. You don't even know. And there they are. And you say, wow, there's a reflection. There's a mirror for me to look at. I got some work to do here. I got to think about maybe some thoughts I've been having and reframe some things a little bit and get my belief system changed a little bit so I can attract some people into my life more so that I'm looking for. You see? Same way in a love relationship. Our partners, the people we spend the most time with perhaps. If you're spending time with somebody that you're at odds with most of the time, whether you're married or not married, you got to examine something there. Do you want to live your life in that much resistance that most of the time? Because it can be a lot of work trying to stay in alignment around somebody that ain't in alignment. You got to ask yourself, do I want to do this anymore? So all these subjects, guys, we want more of those things. And so when it comes to meditation, we use this tool called guided meditation because it can take us down a roadway and put us in a path, in a place where we can drop resistance and allow more things that we want to come in. One point about guided meditations that's very important, or any meditation basically that I want to highlight, and then we're going to get to the meditation, is the optimum objectivity of doing meditation is one thing, is to clear the mind as much as possible into one line of thought patterns. Okay, because when you say you don't want to think, you're still thinking. Okay, your consciousness is still working. So to say that, well, I'm going to go into a place where I'm not going to think is impossible while you're still awake. It's impossible. Because you got to think about something while you're conscious. So the optimum goal is to pick something that is one subject, one thing, one line of thought, so that we're not jumping around while we're meditating. And that allows us to really let go. The big battle in meditation is to do that one thing, is to get so good at it that when you go into meditation, you let go of all thought enough that you find one thing to really focus on, and that's all. And from there, what happens is your consciousness takes over. You see, you kind of allow it and your soul to kind of take off by itself. You see. So some suggestions in that line might be listening to your own breathing in your lungs, that one thing, in and out, in and out. Because when you're doing that one thing, see, you're not thinking about what you're going to have for breakfast in the morning. You're not thinking about that you need to fix your car, or you need to pay rent, or the argument you had this morning with somebody perhaps, or your legs hurting, or anything else. You see, you got your mind on one thing. Or perhaps it's the air conditioner or heater in the room you can hear while you're breathing. Or perhaps you pick a vision of somewhere you like to be and you put yourself there and you bask there. So tonight when we do this guided meditation, the subject is what is the subject? Manifesting your desires. We're going to take you into a particular setting to allow you to let go at the optimum level and take you down a path somewhere so that you'll get some insight maybe about some things here that you don't have at this point. So that's what we're going to do now. So if you want to get comfortable in your seat, get in a comfortable place. It doesn't matter how you sit or whether you're laying down or wherever you're at. The point is we're going to guide you through this. So what we want you to do, oh, and by the way, we're going to have a Q&A session right after this, question and answer. So we invite you folks online to put your questions on online as well, and we'll get to those as soon as we get done with the meditation. Meditation is about 20 minutes or so. So we'll get started now. So go ahead and get comfortable. We'll get the music going, and we'll get started. So I hope you're comfortable in your seat. We're going to start out by just think about relaxing as much as you feel like you can relax. And to do this, we always start out with a nice, steady, deep breathing pattern that allows you to take a deep breath in through your nose, preferably pausing for a moment and then blowing that breath out through your mouth. And what this does is, and it's so important, the breathing aspect is the most important part of the meditation sequence, because breathing is the source of all life. When we breathe in the source, the vital source of life. It's the thing that sustains us. It fills our lungs and nourishes our body, every cell. Breathing is what we call the superhighway to the supernatural. Because in the process of deep breathing, you're opening the pineal gland within the brain. It's like opening a doorway to higher consciousness. And the deeper you breathe and the more you breathe, the further open the pineal gland opens. Pineal gland was designed specifically for this function, to allow the human brain to access higher levels of consciousness, higher dimensions, higher realities. What do we mean by higher? Higher frequencies, higher vibrational states of being. An example would be those who have died and are on the other side. They live, they exist in a higher state of being, frequency, vibration. So breathe in deeply and breathe out, letting go. And you can feel in your body a letting go process. Picture in your mind every cell in your body just letting go, letting loose of any resistance whatsoever. As the pineal gland opens further and further, you feel lighter. As you take a deep breath, breathe down deep. Picture that vital, bright light force filling up your lungs and blowing out debris, things that are unwanted, you no longer have a use for. Breathe in deeply, and this time, as you breathe in, breathe this pure, white, crystal light in through the top of your head to the crown chakra, and let it filter through your brain, down your back of your neck, through the top of your shoulders, down your arms into your hands, through the torso of your body, your chest, your lungs, your heart, your vital organs, your pancreas, your gallbladder, your liver, your spleen, your small intestine, your large intestine, your colon, your stomach, your bladder, your lower extremities, your thighs, your kneecaps, your calf muscles, your ankles, your feet, and all the way out through your toes. Take a deep breath and feel your light body. Now picture your auric field, which is about 16 feet in diameter, with you in the center, and circumference above you, below you, in front of you, behind you, filled with pure, bright light. and you in the middle as that bright light, the source of that bright light. Take a deep breath and let it out. Now picture your heart, your beautiful heart within this bright light, this field, getting larger and larger and larger, extending your heart out into your auric field, in fact. Opening that heart. Opening that heart. No obstacles, no judgments, no worry, no pain, no resistance. Fully empowered. Take a deep breath and let it out. Now in your mind, we want you to picture yourself on a beautiful beach at the ocean. You're standing in the sand at the water's edge, at the ocean, looking out across the ocean. Your feet are in the sand, your shoes are off. You can feel the warm, beautiful white sand between your toes. You can smell the ocean breeze, the cleanliness. Take a deep breath and let it in. The earth is so beautiful, so powerful, so healing. And as you look out across the ocean, you're in awe because you can feel the power and you can feel the connection. You can hear the waves coming in, crystal blue water. You can see the beautiful blue sky. It's the most beautiful blue you've ever witnessed in your life. It gives you chills. It's so beautiful. Take a deep breath. And you look up at the sun. It's a perfect day. The sun is shining. It's so bright you can't look into the sun, but you can feel the heat upon your face. And it feels so good. And you let that heat radiate through your entire body, through your entire extremities. And you let that heat, that light, come all the way through you, down through your toes in the sand. And you feel grounded on this beautiful planet that you've decided to come and visit for a while. Take a deep breath. And let it out. Now we want you to look to your left on the beach, down the beach. And as you're looking down the beach, you see people walking. We want you to turn to your left and start walking down the beach. Maybe you're walking in the water a little bit with your feet, splashing the water, kicking the water perhaps, but you're walking towards these people, and they're walking towards you. And as you get closer to these people, there's really just 3 people that are getting closer to you. They're walking towards you. They act as if they're coming to see you. 3 different people. And they're walking together. And as you're getting closer, you begin to notice their faces. They may or may not be familiar, but they're going to feel familiar to you, whether you recognize their faces or not. And as you get closer, they're smiling and they're holding their arms out to you as if to give you a hug. And as you get closer, you feel that you do want to hug them. Hug each person now. Feel the love. Look at the first person in the eyes and ask them what they're here for. And listen. They may or may not speak. Grab the hands of the second person next to them and ask them, what are you here for? Why are you here? They may or may not tell you. Grab the hands of the third person now and ask them, why are you here? They may or may not answer. But make note of how you feel. And as you four stand there at the beach, by the water or in the water, bow your head in honor to these three people and thank them for showing up, because you have somewhere else to go. So bid them farewell and tell them you'll see them again. Now turn around and walk behind you away from the beach. And as you do, you look up, you notice in front of you on a little path, there is a structure, a building. Now it could be a house, it could be a small building or a hut. And this building, this house, this hut, whatever it is in your mind, is inviting you to come over and to come in. So as you make your way, you walk up the steps. Notice the detail of this building. And you open the door and you walk in. And as you walk in the building, in the room, you look across the room and there's a table. And on that table, there's a piece of paper that's folded in half. Walk over to the table, reach down, and pick up the paper. The paper, as you open it, will have 3 numbers written on the paper. 3 different numbers on this paper. Make note of these 3 numbers, because you're going to use these 3 numbers in order to open a combination lock on a safe that's located right behind you, mounted in the wall. So turn around, head back towards the door, and to your left, in the wall, there is a door, a large door, with your name on it. Can you see the door with your name on it? Open this door, and there in front of you is a large safe. And the numbers that you got off the piece of paper are now going to be used by you to open the lock on this safe. So go ahead and spin the numbers on the lock that you were given and open the safe door. And before you open it, we want you to metaphorically in your mind close your eyes and give thanks for whatever's in the safe before you ever open it. Now we want you to open the safe. What do you see in the safe for you? If there's nothing there, look back in the deep recesses of that safe. Look way back, because there is another piece of paper that's folded in half. Reach back to the very back of this safe and pull out this piece of paper, and as you open it, there's going to be one sentence written on this paper just for you. One sentence. Read that sentence. Now, take the piece of paper, fold it up, put it in your pocket. If there was a gift of some kind in the vault, take that gift, close the vault, lock it, spin the dial, close the door that has your name on it, turn around, look around the room, note anything that's unique about this room before you leave. Walk out the door, down the steps, head back out to the beach, down the path, admiring the ocean in front of you, the blue sky, the sunshine. Notice whether there's any people around or not, or anything else. Walk back out to the beach. And sit down in the sand at the water's edge as the waves are very gently coming in. Sit down, relax. As you gaze across the ocean, smelling the breath of fresh air from Mother Earth, close your eyes and bow your head and give thanks in gratitude and appreciation for this experience. Give thanks for yourself for having the courage to take this journey on this planet at this time. Fill your heart with love and appreciation for yourself, for the earth, for all those billions of people that are existing with you on this planet, all of them. For your spiritual guides, your angels, your ascended masters, all those forms of higher consciousness that exist. For those on the other side that are traveling, always traveling with you, whether you're aware of it or not. Your ancestors. And give thanks to Source Energy, or God, or your highest of high powers. Feel it in your heart. And that realize you are in co-creation with it all. Take a deep breath and let it out, and sit for a moment by the ocean and just be for just a moment. Now take a deep breath, and we're going to clap 3 times, and on the 3rd clap, open your eyes and come back. Might want to shake out your hands a little bit, wiggle your toes, feel your arms, legs, feel the chair you're sitting in, and get back in your body. All right. Everybody with us still online? Good. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was very enlightening. A little bit of a trip there. Nice trip to the beach. It is summer, you know. And by the way, tonight, you know, is a full moon in Capricorn tonight at 1 a.m. Eastern time. So we got a full moon. We're doing this on a full moon here. So even if you people that are watching this online later in the weeks to come, this is happening on a full moon. And yesterday Mars went retrograde for the next 2 months. It's a big movement energetically. Mars is a planet of action. What gives us our energy. Significant changes happening from now through the next 2 months, particularly in July, this month coming up. Big month. We have a Mercury retrograde. We have 2 eclipses in July. We have Chiron going retrograde, the wounded healer, the 5th of July. It's going to be an action-packed month for everybody, not only in your personal lives, but it's going to be a game changer for the planet. Some things we're going to see that we've never seen before. And in your life, you're going to see some circumstances change in some directions that you didn't even know existed with these eclipses. Some of these things are things that maybe, probably one particular thing is going to change so drastically in a direction that you might have been working on something or wanting to manifest something over the past 10 to 20 years. And now it's going to move, and you're going to experience it. That kind of an experience, friends. Now, I want to remember we had this conversation because when July is over, I want to come back and get some experiences and find out what happened. Because this month of all months in 2018, in my opinion, is the most transforming, change-oriented month that we're going to have all year. Because we have the 2 eclipses and where they're at and where those eclipses are, that energy, and a Mercury retrograde at the end of the month, and a Chiron retrograde, and we're doing all that in a Mars retrograde, which only happens every 2 years. And with Mars retrogrades, everything changes. So with all that happening in a Mars retrograde is something is just amazing. So it's going to be very interesting. So, okay, so anyway, let's have some questions. If you have any questions about what you experienced in the meditation, any things you got, we can discuss it. For you people online, post your questions. I'll get to your questions in a moment. But let's talk about it. What did you see? How about the people that you met on the beach? How about who were they? Did you recognize them? Did they have a message for you? It was important. What were the numbers you got for the lock combination? What was it, if there was something in the vault that you were there that was for you? If there was anything, if there was a message on the piece of paper that was in the back of the vault, you can bring up what was there, and maybe we can kind of put these puzzle pieces together. If you don't already know where this was leading you, and find out what the universe, what your higher self, what your guides were trying to pass on to you, what messages. So go ahead, let's go for it. I love this part. This is the exciting part. I love how we get messages and we can find out what's in front of us, what the alignment mechanisms are for the immediate future. Anybody?
Nobody wants to start?
Ladies first.
Okay, then I'll start.
Okay, so Yana, so speak up. The people online can actually hear us if you speak up loud enough.
I didn't see people's faces. I didn't see numbers, piece of paper. I didn't see anything. The only thing that I remember that I saw calm water, and it was a red sun. I remember this part. And then on the very end, I almost fell asleep actually. That was but on the very end, I saw white horse playing with the red ball. Then it changed to pattern of zebra, and then it changed to pattern of like tiger. Oh, tiger! I think tiger. Yes.
Okay.
So those 3 animals on the end.
They were on the beach?
No, it was like later on.
Okay.
That I saw that. It was not on the beach. I didn't see anything around it. I just saw white horse playing with the red ball, and then I saw zebra pattern and like a tiger pattern, like what they have on.
Okay. Well, horses always mean movement, because before we had cars, that's how we got around, is horses. Mm-hmm. They were our mode of travel. So whenever you have a horse in a dream or anything, it's about a lot of movement, so you're going to be moving somewhere. You're going to be going somewhere. It might be traveling for vacation, or you're going somewhere. It's not just across town. It's going to be out of town. So you might be going on a trip, okay, somewhere. The red ball is passion. Red is the color of passion. It's actually the color of Mars, the planet Mars. A red ball is fun. Balls are fun to play with. Okay, so this trip's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, turn to zebra. Zebras are black and white. They're striped. Zebras are a magical animal because when you look at them, you can't figure out how in the world they got all those stripes. They're not really stripes, but they're all black and white. They're kind of magical in their sense. So that means that the trip is going to change direction when you go. It's going to morph into something else while you're on the trip. And it's going to be magical because zebras tend to be magical. Okay, and zebras are found pretty much only in Africa. So that's a long ways away. You don't find them in South Georgia. okay, or anywhere else. So that means this trip is going to be a long trip. It might be an exotic trip somewhere that you don't even know about yet. It's coming down the pike. But there's going to be a lot of movement. Okay. So how about when you went in the house? What kind of a house did everybody have when you are building?
I had a glass, all glass.
All glass, so you could see through it, huh? Interesting. Interesting.
And my numbers was 135.
1, a 3, and a 5.
Right.
Okay. Odd
And
numbers.
when I opened the safe, there was a sun. It was like a sun.
More sun.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then the note over in the corner is three words, you are well.
You are well.
And then I went out and sat down, and the wind was blowing real cool and nice. And then it started raining purple flower petals, just like raining, real soft rain.
Yeah.
With purple petals of flowers.
Yeah.
And then I felt like my heart just went out of my body, and I just felt love from everywhere, and I just was giving love and I was receiving love.
Yes.
So
Yes. Fantastic. So when you opened the safe, the sun came out.
it was a sun right there. It
Yeah.
was right there. It was like
Interesting.
facing me. It's like
So the light is getting brighter in your life. You're opening up, and it's coming. It's being given to you, because the whole idea of the vault with your name on the door is you're being given a gift. So what are you being given a gift? You're being given the gift of a higher frequency, a higher vibration, more higher light. You're making your way up the ladder of higher consciousness very rapidly, and it's being facilitated by source energy, because we liken the sun to source energy, higher vibrations. So there's going to be some new light, substantial new light coming into your life, probably over the next 2 weeks.
I welcome it.
Yeah, and we're doing this on a full moon. Well, guess what a full moon is when you see in the sky? It's a bright light. It's full, okay? It's the brightest it ever gets at night. Illumination. The sun is what does that, you know. So the beauty in that, I'm just looking at that picture back there, and there's a sun coming over the horizon on the picture on the wall. I just noticed it. So the message here from Spirit is that you and all of us, because we're hearing this, are being enlightened to a new level that we've never been. So that's exciting. The numbers 1, 3, and 5 are odd numbers, but let's add them up first. 1 plus 3 is 4, and 5 is 9. So 9 is a very significant number because it's the ending of all the single-digit numbers. It's the universal endings. So you have an ending coming into your life. And by the way, full moons are about endings, something major ending in our life. Okay. So if you haven't had that this week yet, over the next 3 days, there's something that's going to come to an end. This could be anything from a car to a major belief system, or a relationship, or a job, or a washing machine going out, or a trip that you plan gets postponed and rescheduled, or it could be anything, okay? But with every ending, there's a new beginning. So that means it ushers in something right away that's new, okay? So 9 is the endings number. But 9 is a very powerful number, because the next number is a master number, which is a beginnings number. 10 is a new beginnings, a master new beginnings number. And that's always a big new beginning, bigger than a number 1 beginning. Okay? So you got a big new beginning coming right behind an ending right now. And this is probably within the next 2 weeks. Okay? Especially in this Mars retrograde period. The numbers 1, 3, and 5. 1 is the number of new beginnings. 3 is a number of transformation or creation. There's a lot of numbers in the Bible. There's a lot of numbers in spiritual texts all over the planet, where 3 is probably the most powerful of all the single-digit numbers. the Trinity is the 3. There's all kinds of 3s. Jesus was resurrected in 3 days. I mean, there's a whole list of things that happen with the number 3. 5 is the number of change. And 5 is the number of public change. Okay? So, think about that. And think about how those numbers are being given to you to show a pattern of what's about to occur. Okay? New beginning, there's going to be transformation with it, and then there's going to be a change. Okay? Then you got the sun. This is all very, very positive. And then you were given the words on a piece of paper, you are well. Perfect. So that tells you if you've been having any health issues whatsoever, first of all, if you've been having any, even if it's minor with the health, the first thing is you're getting a message that even if you're still having a little ache or pains or some symptoms or whatever, you are well. Those are on the way out. Okay? Those are on the way that are changing. So whatever concerns we might have there in the health department, Spirit is saying, put them aside. Okay? They're on their way out. Okay? And the sun was there. Okay? Which is good. Very powerful. It's a good one. And the purple flowers. Purple is the color of spirituality. If you remember, I'm just going to use the Bible again. I'm using a lot of the Bible because spirituality, there's a lot of spirituality there. People are familiar with that. But if you remember right, in the Bible, Jesus wore a purple during when his crucifixion and everything, when they took him to hang him, out on the field. He wore a purple, they put a purple robe on him. That's always signified spirituality at the highest levels. Purple is the highest, even more than white, the highest, because white's not considered a color. Purple is the highest vibrational color there is. Bashar talks about that. So you're being showered because the flowers come and they covered you. You're being showered by high vibrational energy. And what that's doing as you let it in is it's expanding your heart space so that love, which is the highest vibration frequency there is in the universe, and there are levels of love that have higher and higher levels of love, you might say, frequencies. And we only assign love, the word love, to high frequency because that's the highest form of a word that we can use to relate in human terms to a frequency that high. Because you can't define love, you can only feel it. So the highest of high vibrations of source energy can only be felt. Okay? They can't be defined. Now you can define, a piece of wood, but you can't define love. You can only feel it. So as you feel that love, you expand, we expand. And what that does is it heals your body. It helps heal the people around you. It helps you gain insight and all those fantastic things. It helps in the manifestation process of the things you desire, people, places, things, and they will come into your reality quicker. Because when you're at a higher vibration like that, the universe, through the law of attraction, is bringing that higher vibration right out of your soul, right out of your vortex, as Abraham says, and right into physical existence. And crowds out, pushes away the things that no longer belong there. Whether it's disease, misalignment, whether it's a lack of things, lack of this, lack of that, lack of money, lack of love, lack of people, all the lack. And they come in and they go out, they come in and they go out, and they come in and they go out. And we have more joy, we have more happiness as a result. Very good. Very, very good. I love it. Very good. Anybody else? What else? Yes, Dave.
All right, so I walked down the beach. I could see the 3 people walking towards me. They all had long hair. And then when they got close,
so the people walking on the beach had long hair. I'm going to repeat this for the people online so they can hear it.
The first one, it's weird because it was A very old friend of mine from high school who died a year after high school. He committed suicide. I hadn't thought about him in many years.
So
I
it
thought
was
about
a
him about 10, 12 days
friend of
ago.
yours that died in high school?
And I hadn't thought about him for a long time, but I
Okay.
thought about him for, I don't know, he just popped in my head.
So
10
he was
days
one
ago.
of the 3 people on
One
the
of the
beach
3 people.
who
But
had
then I hadn't
passed.
thought about him again until just now.
Yeah.
Thought about him for, one day. And then he said love.
He
So
said
I
love.
Love. The second person, I could not see them. Just they had long hair and they didn't have anything. And the third one was my main guide. And he said, quit fighting it.
Quit fighting it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's all he said.
Okay.
And then I went to, went up the path and it was a boathouse.
Okay.
And I went inside the boathouse, and the numbers were
Went in the boathouse.
391.
So the numbers on for the safe were 3, 9, and a 1.
Mhm.
Okay.
I opened it up, and I could see it was very bright, like sun, but I could see what it was. It was gold bricks,
Gold bricks.
all up in a just
So
in a
in the
pyramid,
safe.
inside the safe, stacked
Gold-
up,
stacked
like
up.
a pyramid.
That's nice.
It was-
Gold bricks.
But it was that bright, like if you remember seeing, what was the movie with John Travolta and Samuel, Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Remember them when they open up the case, you never see it, but it's that bright,
Yeah,
light,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
just
like that.
glows,
But I could
yeah.
see. I'm looking at this gold, going, there's a lot of gold there. And then I got the piece of paper, but I don't remember what it said on it.
Okay.
But I
so
remember
what
getting
important? Yeah. You got the gold. Who cares?
Exactly. And then I went back out on the beach, and I just saw, and it was the most gorgeous sunset. The
Yeah.
sun was setting, and it was beautiful. It was like an orange, red. There was a little bit of hint purple in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's great. Purple.
yeah.
Well, gold, as of course, gold. You know, you got a windfall coming, or you've got something like a windfall coming. A very, very abundant situation. And whenever you get gold in something like that, and it's bright like that, in our minds usually there's nothing more value than gold. It's kind of like a heart of gold, or
Right.
you know, that idea. But the abundance around that is massive. It's pretty massive. So congratulations on that. That's coming. And because we have a time frame here in these meditations, usually we're looking at things within about a 2-week period. Okay, within about a 2-week period, you can see some manifestation of those things. Okay,
Mhm.
so. And I say that because tonight's a full moon in Capricorn, and in 2 weeks we're going to have, actually on the 11th or 12th, we're going to have a new moon, but it's an eclipse. And so eclipses are 100 times more powerful than a regular full or new moon. So it's a very, very powerful thing. So between now and this new moon, which is new beginnings, new starts, that kind of thing, there's going to be, whatever is going on in this meditation, you're going to see some manifestation of what we just experienced, or what you just experienced. So
What do you
interesting to
think
see
the
what
numbers meant?
give me the numbers again that
It
you
was
said.
in
we had.
sequence of 391.
3, 9, and 1. So 3 again is the transformational
Right.
number. It's a catalyst number.
Nine
The
is
9 is the
ending.
endings number, and the 1 is new beginnings.
Mhm.
So you've got some transformation. Something's occurring right now that's morphing into something else. Okay, you're in the middle of that.
Right.
Pretty soon that's going to end. It could be in the next day or 2 or 3, or within the week. Something's going to have a major ending, and then there's going to be a brand new beginning with that number 1. Now add those numbers up. Okay, 3 and 9 is 12, and 1 is 13.
Right.
So that's 13, which reduces down to a 4. A 1 and a 3 equals a 4. So your overall number is 4, and 4 is the number of stability, complete stability. Okay, because 4 is like the 4 corners of the building.
Right.
You know, the stable foundation.
Right.
4 is this foundational stable number. Okay. So whatever this is, whatever's going to happen here, and however it plays out, okay, it's going to be very, very stable for you. Okay, it's going to stabilize your whole foundation in life. Okay, Very good message there. And two, that you met the person on the other side that you now know, your friend that died in high school, is now in your field. You have access to that person for whatever reason. You have a connection with them this lifetime that's bigger than you think. And the message that your Ascended Master had for you that said,
don't fight it.
Don't fight it. So you have to think about that and say to yourself, and I'm sure you already know what that's talking about.
I'm pretty sure what.
If you don't, you can ask me. If you don't, it's
No,
okay.
I'm pretty sure what it means. Yeah.
But most of the time, we're struggling with something that at the time that is we don't need to be. In other words, universe, spirit is saying, let go of your worries around whatever this is you're worrying, because we got your back here. It's taken care of. You're okay. You have a perception you need to change, and spirit's saying, drop it now. Okay, drop it. Get it out of your energy field. It's resistance that's unnecessary. We got you, Dave. We got your back. Let go of it. Right? That's the message. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter how big it is or what the subject is. Okay. Good messages. Yeah. What else? Anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to laugh when you said in the next 3 days or so we will have a big ending or whatever, or something will end.
Yeah, in the next 3 days, a big ending. Yeah.
On Sunday I have my 30th anniversary in my job.
Oh.
And I can bet right now there will be no party, there will be no thank you. It will be a total no event. And I will be so pissed off that I quit my job.
So you have your 30-year anniversary of working at the same job for 30 years this Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, that's an ending in a Capricorn. We're in a full moon Capricorn. That's perfect because Capricorn is about our career. Okay? Capricorn is about our career. It's the 10th house in the zodiac, right? So the 10th house is our career house. So you're having your 30-year anniversary on a full moon energy in Capricorn, the career house. And you said that you might be so pissed off because they're not going to have a party or anything for you that you may just quit on that day. You say, this is it. I've had it. 30 years is enough. How many people do you know that have been working the same job at the same company for 30 years?
Not a lot anymore.
That's amazing. You know what that tells me, though? That tells me you're not going to be there very much longer. That tells me you're going to get this anniversary out of the way, and this will be your last year gunner there. And you may even just retire for good and have all the money you need. You're not going to ever want for any more. That's what I feel.
Okay. So when I was on the beach.
Oh, you're still going to work, but not with this. You're still going to work, but not with this company.
So there were those 3 persons, but they didn't say anything. I just saw that they were all 3 black persons and very old. The one was a guy with like gray beard, but they didn't say anything. So
Okay, so they didn't say anything to you. 3 people on the beach. Okay.
Then I went back and up the slope and nice in the green. There was a very nice log house. So really very new and with big windows. The whole
It's
gate
interesting.
was-
Everybody's pretty much had new buildings. You know, we had glass building. Got a new building here. What state was
Mine
yours?
was a boathouse. It was
Oh, it was a boathouse. It was an older boathouse. Okay.
I was listening on the way. I had a dream about alien ship.
We'll get to that. Let's get to that in a minute.
Is that connected?
Yeah, let's get to that in a minute. Okay. So we'll talk about aliens here in a minute. I love that. So you had a brand new building.
So
Okay.
brand new building. Then I went to the paper that was in a study or whatever, and the numbers were, well, I don't know. I'm a numbers guy, but it was 47, 58, and the third one was either 7 or 17.
Okay.
I saw the 7 with a 1. I wasn't quite sure, but anyway, I could unlock.
It could be both actually.
I could unlock with a 17.
You could unlock it with the 17. Okay,
Yeah.
then it was 17.
Okay,
So the first number is 47,
yeah,
54,
58.
Eight.
or 58, and 17.
Yeah.
So somebody add those numbers up real quick. Single digits. Take the single digits of those
The
and add them
first
all
single
up.
digit,
Add each digit by
7,
itself.
5,
Yeah.
4, 5,
8.
and
So-
then 17. I took the first number or the second number?
The first number, add
Ten.
each, add
10.
each,
4, 5, and 1 is.
well,
10.
add each single digit of those numbers. So you've
Okay,
got
to
a 4 plus a
32.
7,
4
4
plus
plus 7,
5.
plus 5, plus 8, plus
Oh.
1, plus
Oh,
7.
I got it.
Oh,
Okay.
like that?
4 plus.
So you got
Okay.
4 plus 7, plus 5, plus 8, plus 1, plus 7. Come up with
8
that.
plus 1 plus 7.
Because that'll be your master
32.
number.
32. It's
So
5.
So it's a 32, and 32 reduces to 5. So you got 3 plus 2 equals 5.
Check.
So your number in this is 5. We got another 5.
5.
Change. The number of change. Public change.
Okay, so then I opened it, and there was a little stack of money, not too much, but my model trains were in there.
Model trains.
Model, it's my hobby, yeah, my model trains.
Oh, so you have a hobby, and your hobby is model trains,
Yes.
okay? Right now, as an adult,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So they were in there, so I looked then deeper. It wasn't very bright, it was rather dark, but then I looked deeper in there, and then there was this paper, and it was in German, but it said something like, happiness will stay with you, or something like
Happiness will stay with you. That was your message.
that. Yeah.
Yes, it's interesting. So it said, happiness will stay with you, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, why would they tell you, think about this, why would they tell you that happiness would stay with you? Think about it.
Like,
Because I don't believe it.
Yes, but what they're trying to tell you is that you're going to be moving into a new phase of life.
Oh,
Remember I was
trusting
just
it?
telling you about maybe you might not be there much longer?
Yeah.
That happiness is going to stay you when you make that move. Okay?
Oh.
And because you have your 30th anniversary this Sunday with your employer, and because this is a full moon, and full moons are endings, I think that it's not going to be too much longer that somehow, some way, your employment's going to change. And as you make that change, happiness is going to stay with you. In other words, you're going to move to a better situation than you've had this past 30 years. And they're giving you that message. And they showed you the trains because they want you to play in this next phase of your life. They want you to play with what you love, your hobbies, things, instead of working all the time. I mean, you enjoy working, I'm sure, but now you're going to be, it's going to be whatever you work at, it's going to be like a hobby. It's going to be things you want to do instead of things you have to do. And what they're saying to you is happiness is going to stay with you. In other words, any worries that you think, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself or how I'm going to do this, they're saying, no, that's not going to be the case, Gunnar. This is the next logical step in your life. Very powerful. You don't have to worry about it. Whatever unfolds here. And since it's a 5, that's the number of change. And I'll bet because we're on this subject of work, and you got it coming this Sunday, that's what we're talking about. It's going to be a change. And this is a good thing. Very good thing. Powerful. Let's talk about the aliens for a minute.
I celebrated my birthday June 5th, by the way.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy
June
birthday.
5th, you're a
Yeah.
Gemini baby?
Yeah. So a couple things.
We're now in Cancer, but yeah.
I know, but it was like 5. I was like, oh, that's my birthday. So, quick question. 5, what does 5 specifically mean?
Well, 5, we've been talking about it because a
Yeah.
couple people got 5. 5 is a number of change.
Okay.
Change.
Okay.
Big change, life change, changes.
Mhm.
It's also the number of public
Mhm.
change. There's some other things that 5 relates to, like
Okay.
the heart.
Oh.
It's the sign of Leo. It's the 5th sign of the zodiac. It's the 5th house in the zodiac, for instance, Leo,
Yeah.
signs of Leo. So you might have a connection with a Leo or some Leo energy. It's important.
Mercury and Leo.
Yeah, and for people that got the 5s, that's true as well. So think about who might be a Leo in your life. But it's about change. Like if I go to a hotel and I check in and they give me a room that has a 5 on it, for the last 30 years I've learned to not take that room.
Oh, really?
I request a different room. Because in the early days, whenever I'd get that, I learned that every time I got a room with a 5 in it,
You had to change.
there was a problem. I had to leave. I either had to, something was broke in the room, or there was noises, or they put me by the street, or they put me by the elevator, or the stool didn't work, or it leaked, or something.
Right.
Or I had people next door that were partying at 2 in the morning and I couldn't go to sleep. I learned that, because I went through so many things, that I learned that when I do hotels,
No
do
5s.
not get a 5 in the room.
No 5s.
And people can call that, I'm sure I attract it because you create your own reality. And I tried to change that whole idea, but it never worked. It's like a soul thing that don't take rooms with 5s. Every other room's fine. Okay,
Still 5s.
So
that's
do you
just
have
one
Do you
example.
have a certain preference?
No, I really don't at all.
No
But
5s.
But no
I mean, I have a Leo rising, which is in my chart. I'm a Leo rising. But 5 is the number of change. So 5, if you see 5, or if 5 is in your address, maybe
Yes.
you're not going to be staying there. You're moving.
My
It's
house
not long
number
term.
growing up was 5.
5 is always the number of change. If your life path number is 5, that means you are a constantly changing person who's can't stay at one thing for very long, regardless if it's a person, a place, a job, whatever. It's the energy of change. All right.
Sorry. So, I had a dream last night, and I swear I Googled it so much this morning, I could not find what really felt right to me. So there was an alien ship, and it was over my house back home.
Okay, you had an alien ship over your house
Yes.
in your
and
dream.
there was a few that were flying over, but they were not landing. So the one that landed, it was in my house, and they were after me. So what they did was that they were not harming anybody, none of that. They were
So they were friendly aliens.
very friendly because
Happy aliens.
they were walking my family in the ship, and they're like, "We're here because you guys are different." And my family's very different compared to other families back home. Honestly, we're the weirdos. I'm just kidding.
Well, you're sitting with a bunch of weirdos.
Like,
We're all weird.
and
But
I
we're
fit
weird.
in.
We're
I
good.
fit
We're
in.
together.
But to me, it was just, strange. Why am I dreaming of that? And then, if I may just ask one more question.
Sure,
Because
sure.
I've been seeing a lot, the redbirds?
Yeah, Cardinals.
They give messages. I
Right.
didn't know that. And I've seen those a lot. And I've seen somebody who has passed away recently that we all know. And that person comes in a time where I'm not doing well emotionally, and they just reassure me, and they just tell me that I'm here, I'm okay, you're gonna be okay. And it's just, are they?
So is that Sean?
Yes.
Yeah, that passed away. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's back.
Yeah.
He's here tonight.
Yeah.
Sean's here. Yeah, I can see him. He's hanging out. Got that big old smile.
Yeah.
Standing right behind you. Got that big old smile right now. Yeah. So let's talk about your dream, okay? Yeah, and you can feel him because you can feel the energy. And this is a full moon. If full moons, guys, full moons are a time when us humans, release. That's why full moons. The analogy is full moons is a time when our emotions are full up and they need to release. It's like a cup of water. They can't hold not even one more drop, and we got to let some out, okay? That's what full moons do for us. 3 days before full moon, 3 days after a full moon, that window of time is when we release emotions at the deepest, highest level, okay? That's when we cry. That's when we let stuff go. That's when things happen. More babies are born on a full moon because the energy of the moon is a water sign. It moves water. We're 80% water almost, 73%. What do we do when we cry? We release water. Full moons cause our emotions to release. We have to let some things go. Whatever resistance we got going on, and trust me, if you're human till the day you die, You're going to have resistance, and you're never going to get rid of it all, okay? Because it's an ongoing process. It never ends. Abraham says we never, it never ends. In other words, we never get it done. It's never get it completed, okay? So, full moons is release time. The alien thing for you is a good message because you have a higher consciousness that you're connected with that wants to interact with you even more. But you have some fears around, and that's why they came. They were friendly. And they said you were weird and different because they want you to understand that you're really not weird and different, that you have a definition of that, that you need to change. It's judgmental. And they want you to release that judgment within yourself. Oh, I'm weird, so, I'm not accepted. And they want you to know, and for everybody that says they're weird and you think you're weird, and they're saying, no, you're not weird. Everybody on planet Earth is weird, but weird is just a perception. And there's resistance in that perception. So they want you to accept what you are fully and totally without any judgment. Because you see, there's millions of people that want your weirdness. You see, they want your weirdness that you call weird. And they need your weirdness, okay? They need it.
Yeah. That's why I have a lot of
They're asking
that
for it.
come to me.
Right.
Because
you have wisdom.
Yeah.
So the message, and what the reason Sean says, love yourself and that kind of stuff, is because he's trying to help you understand that most of the battles we have internally, if not all, are all over unworthy. We're unworthy, or there's something wrong with us, or we're not good enough, or we don't look good enough, we don't act good enough, we don't dress good enough, we don't have enough money for everybody, we're not rich enough, we're not smart enough. Okay, we're not like the rest of the world. We're different. No, we're not. We are the world. In Michael Jackson's words, his father just died today, 89, Joe. We are the world. Okay, we're not separate. So the more we can take that in and embrace it, you see, personally, every time you feel like beating yourself up about something, that's a false belief. And it's tough, and it's a process, and we got to work on it. I don't care how old you get. Be 90 years old, and you're still beating ourselves up about something. It's kind of saying now's a really good time during these eclipses during July to start valuing yourself. This is a message for everybody, okay? Because we're being asked to ascend to a higher vibration frequency. The only way you can do that is to release some judgment about ourselves. I don't care what category it is. I don't care if it's about, your big toe and you don't like it. Start loving that big toe. And whatever you got to do to love it. Get a piece of paper, write down, I love my big toe, I love my big toe, I love my big toe. Get up in the morning and look in the mirror and say, I love my big toe. Get to where you drop that resistance, okay? Because when you start rejecting pieces of you, it will reject you. You don't want that. You don't want that. It's not what we're here for. So, anything else around that? That's good.
That's really good.
That's good. Let's look online real quick. See what the online. Let's see if I can do this. Get my glasses. I got eyes on. I know. Eliza Hadley says, I love you doing numerology, so far from the truth. Much more reliable. Yay. Thank you. Candace Apple. Hello, Candace. Phoenix and Dragon. Yeah, she's on tonight. Good to see you, Candace. It's been a while. Maybe I need to come up there and do some stuff with the Phoenix and Dragon again. I haven't been there in a lot of years. Go down there and do a show or something. I don't know. Do a seminar, do something. Let's see. Kirsty Simmons. Hey. She had Ronnie Casale. Haven't seen Ronnie in a long time. She's been traveling around doing her thing. All right, Marcel. I'm looking for questions. Frida, Donna, Lizzie, Lily, Jeff Osmondson. All right, you back in Iowa. What can we expect energetically June going into July? Well, that's good. I just kind of talked about that. Hope you guys got that. Brooke Guestfield. Good to see you, Brooke. All right, let's see here. Brian Smith. Good to see you, Brian. Janet Schultz. Janet found her way on tonight. Tim Wright, Chris, Kendall Mason, good to see you. Kendall, boy, a lot of people I haven't seen for a while. Michael Ozier, Brother Ozier, good to see you. Let's see, Denise Johnson, Amruta. Yeah, see, everybody stayed home tonight. They stayed home in the confines of their house. Hey, if you got any, shame on you, if you got any questions, get online with us here. Fire a question. I know we're going, we went a little bit over tonight, but we never go over. You know, the thing is spirit regulates it. I mean, you know, it's like we go because, you know, we need it. Okay? What else you got to do? Whatever else you're doing ain't important. All right, no more questions. Good crowd tonight. Good group. All right. Anything else,
Can I
guys?
have one more question?
Yana had one more question.
A few days ago, I went in some environment that I had 2 locks. It's interesting that we were playing with 2 locks today, but I didn't see the numbers. And in that dream, I had 2 locks.
Okay.
I don't remember the first number, but I remember the second number, which is 3000.
3,000.
Yes.
Okay.
And I know what 3 means, but what 0 means?
Well, 3,000 is going to have some significance of some kind for you in the next few days. It could be money in some form. 3 is a transformational number. Zeros, of course, are zeros. But because they added the zeros without just giving you the 3 alone, has some significance. You're just going to have to see what happens. 3,000 is going to pop up in some form of importance. So you have to dig on that a little bit. You know, what does that mean? The first thing that came to me was money. Is 3,000 going to represent either $3,000 or 3,000 of something? 3,000 of something. Okay. So you have to wait and see. You may see it in a movie. You may see it pop up. It may. But the first hit I got was money.
Okay.
So we'll have to see what happens on that. So,
Okay. Thank you.
yeah. Anything else? Well, this is great. This is good. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Go ahead.
No, just when we're talking about
One more question, then we'll
just-
move on.
Yeah, numerology. Sorry.
Yes.
Somebody who has a life path of 33, what's your perception on that?
Well, 33 is sort of a master number, but because it's 2 doubles.
Yeah.
But that breaks down into a 6.
Okay.
So we always go on master numbers other than 10, 11, 12. We always break down to a single digit when we're talking about life path numbers for people. And the way you get your life path, guys, to find out what your life path is to take your birth date, all the birth date and the numbers in your birth date, and add them all up one by one to come up with a single digit number, unless it's a 10, 11, or 12. And even then, those you can break those down to 1, but you have a master number. Like if you have a 12, that's a very, very high vibrational master number of significance. So, and 10, 11, 12, all 3 are. But since it's a 33, that means this person is very transformative, probably very creative, artistic, music, those kinds of things. Because 3 is the number of creation. Okay,
Yeah.
so creative. But when it breaks down to a 6, 6 is the number of harmony, and 6 is somewhat of a karmic number. And when we say karmic number, we're talking about very. And I don't want to say this wrong because a lot of people will take this wrong and misinterpret it. When I say karmic, I mean it's very fate-driven life path, which means there's a lot of things that you set up to experience that were almost unchangeable. Certain things, and we don't know what those things are, but it's almost like, because it's a 6 and because 6 represents harmony, it means that the more you can let go and not try to control your life, any aspect of it, especially in the very challenging stages of things, the more you can let go, the smoother and quicker the part of it that's the 6, which is in place already, will happen. It will just lead you. And once you get this, down, it will be like almost like a dog on a leash that the owner is walking and the owner doesn't even know the dog's on the leash. They're following so easily, right in sync with the owner. It will be that way for you with spirit once you get this down. And whatever comes along your way, there will be zero resistance because you're just going to follow the leader. You're going to follow spirit. You're going to follow it and not question. You're not going to fight it. You're not going to question things. You're not going to offer any resistance and over worry. Those kinds of things. That's what the sixth life path is about, is learning to let go enough to where you just follow no matter what, so that there's complete harmony in that ride. That's what it's about. And to exercise those creative gifts, because the more you do that, the more you get out of your head, because you're a Gemini, and all Geminis, okay, are overthinkers, because it's ruled by Mercury, okay, planet of communication and travel, and Gemini wants to overthink everything. You know, let me figure it out first. Why is this? Why is that? And the universe says, no, there's only so much that you can do. You have to add your heart to it. Okay? We end up bringing the heart in. And that's where the creative side of your life is really important. That's where when you sing, or you're in music, or you're dancing, or you're doing art, or you're creating stuff, you're out of your head.
I touch people more that way.
We're out of our head,
Yeah.
yeah. Or you're helping people, you're out of your head. See? That's what you got to do. That's where the 6 comes in. That's where the 3-3 comes in. That's where your health gets better too.
I have to run every day, otherwise I'll have panic attacks.
Movement. Oh, and right now, let me say this while Mars is in retrograde. It's very, very, very important over the next 2 weeks. I mean, it takes 2 months. More so than normal. To get outside and to move, to walk or jog for 30 minutes, if you can do it every day while Mars is retrograde. That energy's got to go somewhere, guys. Mars energy is like a compression. It's like a compression coming down out of the sky, and it just presses us because the energy's internally with Mars. And we got to move it out. Okay, when it's retrograde, we got to move it out. Okay, and it takes effort. Okay, you get all clogged up. Okay, you'll feel it. You get sick, you know, inside because, you know, you're not moving that energy. Okay, and the temperatures get hotter when Mars is retrograde every 2 years. You'll notice that the temperatures outside around the globe are going to be hotter. I was talking to my brother, it's 105, 106 out in Texas. All of a sudden, they can't believe it. It just got that hot in the last few days. Well, Mars went retrograde yesterday. That's why.
Hilarious.
So this summer is going to be hotter than normal everywhere, okay, because of Mars retrograde. It's a fiery planet, okay. It rules Aries and Scorpio to some degree. So it's going to affect those signs, that energy a little bit more on every level. More exercise outside, not the treadmill at the gym. Not inside in the air conditioning. No. You got to get out in Mother Earth, Gaia, whatever you want to call it. You got to get in an environment because it cleans your energy field, your whole auric field. It cleans your internal. It helps the brain systems, the chemicals in our brain when we get outside react differently. They open up more. Okay? The good chemicals, melatonin, serotonin, all those things. Your pineal gland opens up instantly. That's why when you start walking, you get outside or you jog, within a few minutes, you start getting insights about stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
You get ideas, right? Your pineal gland's moving. It's open. See? Kind of stuff. Yeah. And water. Half a gallon to a gallon a day. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. You can drink all the other stuff too with it, but you gotta have the water as a staple, foundation. Gotta have it. Okay. Anything else? Let me look here one more time online. I see some action. Okay. All right, one other thing. We will not be meeting at King George tonight. I mean, I'm not going to be there tonight. So I've got some things to do. But next week is 4th of July, a week from today, on a Wednesday. We will not have class next week, so we'll be taking off. You can come, but I ain't going to be here. But but what I might do next week is either Tuesday or Thursday, I may have an online little thing to get on. So I'll let you know. Watch Facebook, watch Meetup, but watch Facebook. Watch the Facebook Conscious Metaphysics thing, watch it. And I'll let you know. But I might do a short, small class, 2 or 3 hour class on the day before, day after 4th of July. I have to see what I'm doing, how things are going. But get us all back together again. It's good to get together, right? It's so good. So, yeah, other than that, that's it. Okay, well, good. Well, I've appreciated it. I appreciate everybody online being with us. Don't forget to donate. You can donate online. Just click the button there. $10. What you put out is what you get back. You want more money? Put your money out there in places that you find value with. The universe sends it back multiplied. It pads your bank account, okay? When you put money into things that you value. Don't put money in things you don't value, because you're wasting your time. But when you value something, if you value this show, we talk about the $10 thing because we give you the opportunity to pad your bank account by donating, okay? And you can do it online. It's easy. Just click the button, boom. PayPal does it instantly. It's a credit card. It's easy, okay? So don't miss that advantage there. I'm going to time stamp this thing too, so you can see. So if you just want to do the meditation, want to jump to Q&A or whatever, make it easy for you to look at it later. You can watch these meditations for years to come, guys, okay? All you got to do is just go back there. You're always going to get different insights. You can listen to the music. I'm going to leave them up so everybody can benefit from them and enjoy those too. And with that, I will say goodbye. I hope you have a great week. Have a great full moon this week. Be excited about the new beginnings that are coming in your life, because they are, I promise you. Let the old stuff go. Drop the people, places, and things that need to go. Let them go. Dust them off. Got to move on. There's places to go, people to see, things to do, guys. There's always new. Let go of the old. Get on with the new, guys. The universe has got your back. It's got you. Trust it. Move with it and listen for the guidance. And with that, I will let you go. Have a nice week, and we'll see you next time.